Hey guys, welcome to the bonus live stream. We're going to demold these blanks that we made last night. So I thought we'd flip on the cameras real quick and pull them out. So they turned out pretty cool looking. I'm looking at them in the molds. We did some single pen blank molds with the gator jaw in them. We did, let's see here, what was this one? This was the giraffes, and we got one honeycomb type. This one's looking pretty cool. It's got the kind of twilight look. And then we did some of the Lotus pods in this one. So some of this we may not really be able to see. A lot of times when you're putting a lot of colors in with things that you embedded, you have to kind of wait and see, when you turn it. But I thought we'd demold it and just kind of see what the blanks look like at least. And then I also, I'm not going to demold it, but I also did a kind of an extra little bottle stopper pour with some extra resin. So I hope everybody's doing good today. It is Saturday. I'm doing pretty good here. So once we get done with this, I can actually focus my attention on that big bowl and hopefully pretty much finish that thing up today. So I'm pretty excited about that actually. That thing's been like on the lathe for like a week, and it really, you could probably knock it out in one day if you could focus on it. But I'm looking at it right now. I can't give anything away, but it is looking awesome. So hopefully I can do the final touches. There's just a little bit left on the like coring out the bowl part, and it should be ready to go. So I'm hoping to get that video up, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, next Sunday. So let's see who's here. We got Steven's here. Steven sent in all the goodies that we dunked. So for anybody that didn't see last night's live stream or the Banksia pod one, he sent in all this stuff and we had a lot of fun playing with it. So a big thank you to everybody that super chatted and picked some colors. You guys did a really awesome job again. I honestly, I can't think of any one time where you guys picked like I was looking at the blanks after, like the day after I'm demolding it and going, man, they really screwed that up. Every time they turned out awesome. So another one, you guys have a flawless record. So who else is here? Steven's here and Rumple Foreskin. Probably shouldn't have said that out loud. KJT Crafts Art. And let's see here. Brad. Smiles for Miles. What's up? Ellis is here. Ellis had a good tip. Ellis mentioned, like, why don't you write the amount of resin each mold holds, which is a good idea. Part of the thing is I actually write down, everything in my notebook. So realistically, it should be in there. The problem is I always run into, with these ones, I almost never use them for just color swirl type stuff. So like, I don't even know if I actually know what these things hold each one. I want to say it's something like 50 or 60. I always kind of want to think like it's like 75, but I actually think it's probably like 60, maybe 70. I don't know. I could write them on there, but what I should do is just look it up. I'm sure it's somewhere. I probably wrote it down. I did one, thing where it shows how many slots and everything. But it is a good idea to write down stuff. Now, for all my other molds, I know exactly how much these things hold. So I don't even need to like look it up, but it was a good tip. So thank you for that, Ellis. Let's see, we got Susan here. And let's see here. Ozzy. I was just reading. I wasn't really thinking about what I was doing. Ramsdale made it live. Nice. Sweet. Okay, so this is just going to be a quick one. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you guys. The one thing that I do want to mention, announcements. So again, next week we're not going to be doing any live streams. I'm okay. So if I get everything totally wrapped up and everything, like literally everything falls into place, maybe I'll do a live stream on Monday. But I don't know if I'm gonna have time because I need to kind of take Monday to restock anything that comes in over the weekend and do some stuff. So like last minute stuff, but Gretchen and I are taking some time off. We're gonna get outdoors, do a little bit of hiking and stuff. So I'm definitely not even gonna be in the shop or anything on Wednesday or Friday. So no streams on those days. I don't know, keep your eyes peeled for Monday, but I kind of think that I'm probably going to have to be doing actual work. The other thing is if I don't get this video ready by Monday, like Monday's the last day that I need to get that stuff, the video shot on that bowl, because I want to get that video edited for that weekend. So we'll see, but probably not next week. And then Sunday, tomorrow, is going to be, I'm posting the replay of the Banksia pods that we cast. So similar to the stuff that we did yesterday, and it was sent in by Steven. He cast some Banksia pods, and he sent in two. We cast the other one on the Patreon live stream hangout, the first Friday deal. And so I got that video, or that like live stream, the demo part of those. After the fact, I cut them down, get rid of the Q&A portion, and then just show you guys the demo for everybody on YouTube. So that'll be going up tomorrow. It's ready to rock. So let's see. I hope everybody's doing good today. It's Saturday, the weekend. Yeah, it's going to be a good vacation. It's going to, I don't know, you know, not to say that I like work so much and all, you know, all this stuff. I work hard just like the rest of us, but I think right now with all the stuff going on this year, like it's going to be nice to just kind of relax. We're probably not going to be on social media or anything like that. Just get outdoors and kind of, I don't know, revitalize a little bit. It's going to be great. So yeah, I'm not a troll. That's cool. Yeah, welcome. I didn't think so. It's just, it was a fun, I probably shouldn't have said that screen name. Who cares? I don't really care. All right, so let's switch to the, let's see here, this view. You don't need to, well, maybe, I think what I'm going to do is do this view at first, and then I'll switch to this other camera. So I don't know which one. Let's see, which one did we do first yesterday? I think we did this. Yeah, I think we did this one. So let's just do it in that order. So here is, I'm going to switch to this little camera real quick. Here is that, this was just an excess pour. I poured some on like last Friday down here, and then I just poured some extra on top. So that'll actually be kind of an interesting looking little kind of stopper blank. I don't know. Someday I might get around to turning it, but no reason to really demold it. It just has the blue and the interference gold in it that we did yesterday. And then it has some purple and pink is what the bottom is. So this one's actually ready to rock. So all I got to do is just drop it out. I'm going to wipe off some of the excess stoner mold release that was on there. Not too bad. So I'm going to actually switch to this view. That was kind of a, look at that. That's going to be pretty cool looking. These are looking awesome in here. I'm liking this. I like the honeycomb with the color shift powder. So we used, for anybody that wasn't here yesterday, we used color shift powder. Let's see, what was the, I'm going to actually pull it up because I can't remember 100%. I know we got color shift powder. Is that on camera? Yeah. Let's see here. So the first one was color shift powder and the starlight glitter. So this is what I kind of call my twilight mix. And I sell the starlight glitter and the blue to purple color shift. I call it blurple. That's on my website if anybody wants to grab some. And then we also mixed in some midnight purple caster's choice. So really cool looking, very purple in here. And on the top you can kind of see what it's going to look like on the inside. There's some streaks of that Pearl-X going around in here. You can see the kind of pearly color, but you also see the kind of color shift. So hopefully that's coming up on camera. It's got blue, and then it, you know, depending on how the light's hitting it, it turns to purple. So, but really cool. I can't wait to cut these guys up. So I'll probably cut these tomorrow. I want to focus on that bowl today. I don't think I want to mess around with cutting blanks. So I'll cut these tomorrow, and then I'll post pics on Instagram of how they look cut out. I think these are pretty wicked looking though. All right, so the second thing, let's see, number 2, we did the handle blanks. So I guess we can just kind of leave that camera on because I'm gonna end up switching to it anyway. This one might be a little bit more tough. So I'm just unscrewing my mold here. Yeah, I guess I could do it this way. I don't do a lot of demolding videos, so it's not second nature where the cameras need to go. That one came out pretty easy. That's the beauty of using mold release. And this is a brand new mold, so that also helps. Let's get all these molds out of the way. So I'm gonna wipe off. Usually there's a little bit of excess stoner mold release on the outside. That's gooey. I don't need it on my fingers. So we did the Lotus pods, and the Lotus pods themselves. So actually I have one for anybody that doesn't know what this is. I got a couple. So this is what these things are in here. We just put them in sideways in the mold. It's got little holes in it, and it's a Lotus pod, I guess. I don't know. I'm not familiar with these things. I guess they grow somewhere. Where do you actually get Lotus pods? I'm not sure. But they're faux, obviously. So you can kind of see the little holes right there kind of poking out through the pearls. And then on this one we did, let's see, copper. We did, well, okay, so we got more of the blurple, but we added red dye to it, like kind of a dark red. So you can see it's a little bit more like red purple, like a, I don't know, violet or, you know, like a redder purple with the color shift powder, but you can still see some of that blue popping through. We did, so blurple, we did copper, the metallic Alumilite copper, and you can kind of see some of that on the top there. We did, let's see, turquoise, pearlex, and then emerald green. So you can kind of see all these little colors popping through here. Again, this one's going to be kind of not a whole lot to see, even after I may cut this a little bit. But I think what I had in mind was to just cut this in half, and you'd have like kind of a longer bottle stopper, maybe a gear shift knob, something like that. Bottle openers, you know, that kind of deal. But I think these things are going to look pretty darn cool. I'm interested, once you cut into the Lotus pod and see those little holes with this resin mix kind of popping through, I think that's going to be pretty cool looking. Plus, with the Lotus pod, kind of they're a little bit on an angle, and so you have these kind of lines, you know, the outside lines. When you turn into that, you're going to get some shapes and interesting patterns and stuff. So lots of wicked colors, and I think those things they turned out pretty good, I'd say. All right, so last but not least, we did some pen blanks with Gator jaw inside. And do I have one more Gator jaw? I don't think I do. Yeah, I do. For anybody that doesn't exactly know, it's literally alligator jaw. Stephen molded one, and so here's kind of an example of it. These things are really cool to make pens out of. You got the kind of jaw line with where the teeth go. Resin fills that, and when you turn into it, it ends up looking really neat looking. But these are even better because he added a bunch of colors to them. And so for this one, we went fairly simple. We did Lagoon Blue Divine Pigments, so it's a dye. And then, I actually didn't even write what, take better notes, man. And then we did a little bit of Interference Gold. So somebody just emailed me last night, saying that they used an interference powder and the color didn't come out. And the thing about interference powders is they really kind of need a little bit of a darker background. Otherwise, they don't really show up. They look just kind of like white, kind of pearly. So just be aware that interference powders, color shift things, the way that it works, light hits it and it reflects, and you kind of need a darker background for that color to really pop out because it's not an obvious color. So just to let everybody, a little reminder, interference colors work a little differently than just your normal pearls. All right, so these Maker Select molds are pretty cool. You just pull these little plug deals out, and you can get these at Turner's Warehouse. I'm going to give this kind of a little bit of a knock. I'm going to go over to a more solid bench. I'm just going to kind of knock this thing on a bench. A couple of them already fell out, actually, just knocking it. And I did apply some mold release, but the way to get these things out is you get an air hose and you just boo, boo, boo. Super easy. I love these things. They do sell a demold rack that is handy if they get stuck. You can kind of, the idea behind these little holes is you can use a punch, but I gotta be honest, I'd much rather just shoot them out with an air hose. So these are looking pretty cool. I've never actually done an interference color with like a solid dye, I don't think. I don't know of any, maybe with black or something like that, but not like just a normal colored thing. Now the problem with this is they don't look like much because we can't see that gator jaw line. But once you turn, it works perfect for pens because once you turn into it, then all that stuff comes out. So, but they're looking pretty interesting. Interference Gold is a little bit, I would say it's a little bit more colorful than some of the other ones. It just seems like it has a little less of that just interference kind of thing going on. And then the other thing is all of these gator jaw things have color in them as well, so they're really going to stick out. Typically gator jaw is just white, but I think this one might be he made one that was like an abalone color, and I'm pretty sure that's what this one is in here. So these are gonna, the problem is these are tough because, you know, especially for someone like me, I sell blanks. It's kind of hard to put a picture up and be like, oh, it's gonna be so cool. And it just doesn't really look like much. But I think what I'm gonna do, these are 7/8 blanks. And so the reason I like having the 7/8 slots specifically for me is then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna cut the sides and the top, and hopefully maybe we'll cut into this a little bit and expose some of that gator jaw so that it's kind of visible, because otherwise it's kind of hard to, you can barely even see the gator jaw, you know, really in these. But I think once we cut it down to 3/4, I think it's going to kind of pop out. Definitely on the bottoms, you can kind of see a little bit kind of popping out here and there. So we'll expose that when I cut a little bit away from the bottom, and then hopefully when I cut the top a little bit, we'll get a little bit more exposure. Now, one thing about these, you know, these things have the holes in them, and you're gonna get a little nubbin right here. So just be aware of that. You don't wanna try and like put these on a table saw. You know, it's gonna rock. So pretty simple to either, you could take a chisel. I usually just use my little belt sander, just kind of sand it off real quick. Just one little quick reminder about that with these molds. But anyway, so pretty cool looking blanks. I'm excited about these things. Like I said, I'll cut this brick up for sure tomorrow. I'll cut these down to 3/4, so hopefully we can expose some of that gator jaw. I'll do that tomorrow. I don't know how much of this I'm going to cut into. I don't know. Part of me, I think I might do the same, where I just kind of take some small cuts off the edges, tops and bottoms, square it up, and then hopefully we can kind of get some idea of what this is going to look like. But I think a lot of these are going to really, like, they're going to shine, you know, once you start turning them. It's kind of one of those tough things when you embed random stuff that sometimes you got to wait till the end. So anyway, let's see, the Lotus pods. Yeah, the Lotus pods glow. So let me scroll back up and see what you guys have been doing here. Pressing fingerboards, nice. Yeah, I saw those fingerboards you're making. They're really cool. I wanted to do some cast fingerboards. One of my, so I snowboard, and one of my kind of favorite channels for snowboarding on YouTube is David Jones. Go follow him if you're interested in snowboarding. He's pretty funny. He got hurt actually, and so he had to kind of switch to vlogging and doing some stuff. But he also does fingerboarding, and like actually his channel is way more popular with his fingerboarding stuff. And I was thinking about making him a fingerboard and sending it. He's down in New Zealand, but pretty cool. So actually it's winter there too, so I don't know exactly what all the craziness with the outbreak, what they're dealing with down there right offhand. But hopefully he's getting some snowboarding in. I haven't checked in on his channel. Let's see here. Yeah, the color shift definitely shows. And again, that's a good, actually I have a really good, let me show you a comparison. I actually have a blank sitting here. So that one has, you know, both of these. I'm going to show you this one. So let me switch camera views to this again. I'm just going to get to this. We don't need that upper. All right, so here's a blank that I made, and this has the color shift powder in it, but it's, you know, you can't really see. Now, it doesn't have very much in there, but it's basically just clear resin with color shift powder, and you can see it looks kind of milky-ish. Now, but there is a piece of burl in here, and so with that as the background, it pops out at you more than just looking through kind of a clear area. With this, we have that darker purple, and there's a lot more stuff in here. And so you can really, you know, that's where these types of things like color shift powder and interference powder all kind of work the same, where as long as you have a kind of a darker background, then it pops out at you. So just to give you kind of an example of, you know, how these things work, just so people know. I know that the interference powders were really weird, and it took me a long time to figure out really how to use them. And a lot of times, somebody also explained, I think it was actually Scott Grove, where the interference, or a lot of times they'll call them ghost colors. I think that's what the eye candy ones are. I think they call them ghost pearls. Those are the same thing as interference. They do better with like thin coats. So they came from, I think they, at least, well, I don't know if they came where they started, but they use them in auto body paint. And so, you know, you're putting like a black primer on, and then you're putting a thin coat of a, you know, interference or a color change or something like that. And so you think thin coats with a dark background, that's where they really pop out at you like that. And so one thing that I do in my video on making like the mother of pearl abalone look, all I use is interference powders for the mother of pearl look. And I just dump a ton of it in there where it looks kind of pearly, but then you have this kind of shimmer. It's not as in your face. But if you add black, and actually I got a good example right here. If you put it with black dyed resin, then it pops. It's like wicked crazy, right? So go check out that mother of pearl video and compare this, which is using the same exact stuff. Compare this to the mother of pearl look, which is totally white, and it's just a lot more subdued. So darker colors pop it a lot more. So you think I should? I got a ton of turning. My lathe is already taken up by a big thing, so I can't do that. Maybe I'll do one on Monday if I do stream. Maybe I'll turn something on Monday. That wouldn't be too bad. I don't need to make any more blanks. I got lots of that. Lots of blanks going. Michael Bell, what's up? Let's see. I'm just scrolling down, making sure I'm not missing anything. Hey, Bruce is here. What's up? Oh, it's, you know, I hate it when I'm scrolling the chat and then it drops down to like the most current one. Then I miss where I was. Oh, it's tough. Ian's here. What's up, man? Kevin's here. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the eye candy stuff too. And actually, I'm going to call Chad today and see what's up. He's super busy. Like he had one employee that was doing a lot of the kind of grunt work, like left, I think like a month ago. And so he just filled that. So like he's had all kinds of stuff. And then I think Carrie went on vacation for a week at some point. And so sometimes it's tough to get a hold of Chad, you know, like when he's got to take care of everything. But I'll call him and see if I can get a hold of him today. And hopefully we can get that going. Let's see. So who asked about Tomboy Chris was asking. So we did. Let me pull out he's asking about midnight. We did midnight purple on this one, on the big one, and there's no actual purple in this one. Purple like powder. It's just the blue to purple color shift, and you can see it's got a little bit more of a reddish tint because we dyed we added dye to the resin with the blurple stuff. So there's lots of different ways to kind of get similar looks with a lot of these things. Like I said, again, the blue to purple color shift powder, if you add a dark color to it, then it's really going to show a lot of that kind of purple and blue. It's going to be a little bit more in your face. So yeah, midnight purple is a good color too. Doug made it. Yep. What's up, man? Still working on the bowl. I think, hopefully, once I shut the stream down, I am walking to the lathe, and hopefully, oh man, I don't know how much time it's going to take me, but hopefully within a few hours today, or at least by the end of the day, I will have that thing sanded and pretty much done. I'm almost done turning it at this point. It's going to be a lot of sanding, but. Jen's here. What's up? Love the side you can't see the inserts on. Love the side you can't see the inserts on. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Jen. Sorry. Inserts? Like the things that I stuck in there? Like this one, maybe? Is that what you're talking about? Probably that one. Yeah, it does look good. I like that that blue to purple color. That's the reason that I sell it. It's not because I was like, oh, you need to buy it. I found that blue to purple color shift powder and the Starlight glitter, and I was like, these are awesome. I love doing those mixtures. So I figured, kind of like the aluminum honeycomb, it was one of those things where it would be cheaper for me to buy a lot of it, but to buy the amount that actually saves you money, I'd have so much that I thought, well, I could sell it, you know. And they've been pretty popular with people too. Yeah, well, Doug, I want to get it done today because we're going like on vacation or whatever next week, and I want to get that video up next weekend. So I want to get this thing done today, if not totally, like it should be pretty much done. I mean, I'm at the end at this point. As long as nothing goes wrong at this point, that's I'm crossing my fingers on it. But I mean, it turned fine. There was nothing, you know. The box, I kind of made it sound like the box elder was like horrible, and I don't. That's not what it was. It turned fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It did kind of tend to tear out a little bit here and there, but everything else is, I mean, it's gone great for turning it. So anyway, that's all. I just wanted to kind of share the demolding, unboxing with everybody. Like I said, again, just last minute notes. Tomorrow is going to be the replay of the live stream of casting those Banksia pod blanks that we did for the Patreon hangout last Friday. So I've cut that down, got rid of the like Q&A portion hangout thing. So it's just the demo part. So it's going to be kind of a quicker, you know, live stream replay. It's only like 40 minutes. So a little bit, I know a lot of people don't really like watching the full, like, you know, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes of the replays for live streams. That one will be pretty digestible, I think. So cut that down. It'll be up tomorrow morning. And then next week, I'm going on vacation. Gretchen and I are going to get outdoors a little bit and, I don't know, just have a little bit of a relaxation. So no live streams, none of the normal ones. There is a slight chance maybe on Monday, depending on where I sit with, you know, like orders and restocking stuff and that video and all that kind of thing. I need to get all the things that I need to get done, you know, done on Monday. That's my last day that I'm going to be in the shop. However, if I get this, you know, bowl finished, the video's going fine, and I don't really have a lot of restocking to do, maybe I'll flip the cameras on Monday, and maybe we'll turn one of these up. I'm actually kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of liking turning one of these guys for like a handle or something like that. It'd be kind of fun, but I don't know. We'll have to kind of think about it. I know that I usually kind of, one other thing to think about is I usually like to wait 5 days when I'm turning things just to make sure that the resin's fully, you know, it's reached its full hardness. That'll help you polish it. But one way to get around that, you can turn something like the next day with Alumilite clear. Usually it's hard enough, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with turning it. But the polishing part is where you run into issues. If it hasn't, you know, reached that ultimate hardness that it's going to get to, it can be a little bit harder to get it that full gloss. One thing you can do though is just put a coat of CA glue on top, and you kind of avoid all that problem, you know. So you can cut and turn and do whatever, you know. I mean, realistically, you can pull it out of the pressure pot and start cutting it if you really wanted to. I usually give it a day, but you can turn things, you know, sooner. Just know that you know, you may have a little bit of difficulty getting that super high gloss polish. So yeah, you need to do the nebula look. That would be sweet. Yak's here too. What's up, man? Awesome. Well, so sorry for everybody that just joined us. Today's going to be it was just a quick one. So again, if you're just joining us, here's the kind of handle blanks with the Lotus pods. Not a whole lot to see, but you can see these little holes. Nope, over here, kind of popping through on the bottom there. So these are going to be kind of interesting. We did our Gator jaw pen blanks. And again, you can't really see much, you know, there's nothing like really popping out, but I'm going to cut these up. Hopefully we'll kind of expose some of that Gator jaw. So I'll be looking on Instagram and Facebook for pictures of those. I don't know if this one, I may try to cut, you know, the surface a little bit and square this up. We'll see if anything comes out of that. And then this one, all these little pin blanks with the giraffes and the honeycomb, honeycomb over here, looking pretty good with our kind of nebula effect kind of thing. So that's what we got. Yeah, so again, thank you to everybody who super chatted, picked some awesome colors yesterday. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your Saturday. And then, like I said, be kind of be on the lookout tomorrow if you want to watch that Banksia Pod live stream replay tomorrow. Monday, keep your eye on Facebook and Instagram. I may go live, but other than that, we're not going to have our normal live streams on Wednesday and Friday next week because I will be out in the mountains, and it should be pretty fun. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day. Have a great weekend. Get in the shop, do something creative, and you know, of course, always have fun. And hopefully you guys will do a little bit of relaxing too. So I'll be thinking of you while I'm hiking and enjoying a little bit of nature next week. And then hopefully we'll have a few pictures and stuff, but we're not going to really be hanging out on like Instagram and social media probably next week. We're going to just do a little bit of relaxation. So it should be pretty cool. So anyway, guys, have a great evening. Thanks for joining the fun and watching these things get demolded, and I will see you guys on the next stream.